How did America get so racist? I don't know, evolution.
We evolved that way.
Yeah, we just grew into it. It's kind of like a new pair of shoes.
I feel like that's a good place to start. Hey, everybody, this is Wild Wasteland, where we talk about the crazy shit going on in our crazy place that we call Earth, essentially the Wild Wasteland. I'm Michael Johnson.
And I am Dean Maldonado.
So, Dean, what are we talking about today? Whales?
No. Something way better.
I like whales.
You know, we as humans are very aggressive.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, we're super aggressive animals. I mean, that's why we're fucking top of the food chain, and we're about half the size of the main predator on land. Because what we're really good at is war.
War.
You ever read The Art of War?
War never changes. Sun Tzu?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Never heard of it.
Well, you would have understood my my plan here.
What's your plan?
Well, you keep your friends close, but you keep your enemies closer.
Nice.
If it were done today, it would be keep your friends close, but do podcasts with your enemy.
I'm your enemy?
I don't know. Are you? I don't know what I'm insinuating now. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wait, did you say wink, wink, or not? Or did I feel that?
This is an audio thing.
Wait.
What is this, a podcast?
I don't know.
Why is it called, why?
Wait.
Why would you is it called a podcast because the iPod was so popular?
Yeah.
Wow, fuck Apple.
Yeah, they, back at the beginning of podcasts, 10, 15 years ago, whenever it first started, Apple was the big dog in town, and they used iTunes, and they were just like, yeah, let's do this one thing called a podcast on as an option for download or whatever, and I don't know the fucking history of it, but the name stuck.
Wow, that is shitty. But yeah, so
well,
we are
shitty for them because look at how successful podcasts are, and they didn't.
That's right. They did not corner the market when they should have.
Well, they can't because you can't retroactively do that. Every podcast that exists, you have to pay us $1.
Well, of course, that's why I said they should have.
Well, they should.
I'm not
I don't
saying,
know
I'm
how
not
you
say,
could without looking like a dick.
I'm not saying they should now. I said they should have. They had the opportunity to corner the market, and they didn't even think of how popular and successful these things would be.
Yeah, weird.
I know.
Thing.
Yeah, but so
like open mics
for our 5 faithful listeners. Yeah,
all 5 of you: Steve, Brandon, Alan,
my mom,
Eric, and your mom.
Yeah, my mom's a pretty faithful listener. Thank God for Jewish mothers. They always support you.
She's like, oh, Dean, I was listening to the podcast the other day.
Yeah, that's not how my mom talks.
Oh, it was so great. I love everything you say. What's that guy on there? I don't like him much.
Okay, that sounds more like my mother.
Oh,
but
Dean, when are you coming home?
Okay, stop. You're giving me fucking anxiety over here.
Oh, when are you getting married?
Shut the fuck up. Just stop.
When are you having those kids?
I'm going to mute your mic. You son of a bitch. Trying to get through that muting. So, to our listeners out there, while Mike is on mute, let's shit talk him. No, I'm kidding. We're going to talk about one of my favorite wars. So,
wait, what war?
Hey, Mike. Hey.
World War II?
No.
That was my favorite war.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it way more than World War I, which was the war between first cousins where literally nobody gained or lost any land.
World War I's interesting because it was
kind
the
of
loss
just a
of
bunch
empires.
Yeah, but it was kind of just a bunch of first cousins just throwing soldiers at each other until they were like, are you bored? They're like, yeah, I'm bored. They're like, all right, let's just call it.
Hey, you want to dig some trenches and shit? Yeah, I don't like, we got all these bombs and gases and shit. We got these guns.
Yeah, man.
That was the Italians?
I believe it.
Yeah, those dirty fucking Italians.
But so I have a very deep affinity for the country of Australia because
what's going on in Australia? Wait, they're a part of World War One.
Yeah. Well, of course they're British. Fucking monarch. They're part of the monarchy.
Yeah, they're whatever it's called. Who cares?
So, in 1932.
Sovereignty.
So 1932, right?
Yeah, what happened?
Right in between the two world wars.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right after World War II. It's like during the Great Depression.
It was just before.
No, I meant World War One. It's right after World
Yeah, I
War
was going to say
One.
just before World War II. I was like, what are you talking about?
Well, not just before. It's like 8 more years. You got like 8 more years
something
until
like that.
The Blitzkrieg started. Yeah.
November
in 1940.
But so Australia is a very interesting continent. They have this thing called the Green Circle, which is a mountain range that quite literally runs in a circle around the entire country. And on the outer part of it is all forests.
The forest of the Green Circle.
Like up in Brisbane is the original rainforest. It was
the first one?
The very first one. It's where the first wide-leaf plant was ever found. It was where the first citrus fruit developed. It's where the first mammals really developed.
And we found it.
And so
in
the middle,
you bloody wanker.
In the middle, there's a giant desert. And I mean, like in the very center of the continent. When I was there about a year and a half ago at this point, it was a very wet year, and it was actually the first time that it had rained in the center of the continent.
Mm-hmm.
And there was news reports about how these Aboriginal children, at age 15, it was their first time ever seeing rain.
What'd they think it was?
They were terrified.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh, you kidding me? The fucking sky is falling on you.
Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how we are with global warming. It's currently 45 degrees in Chicago.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
So it's like, I feel like them. I'm just like, what's going on? And they're looking up at the sky. There's no
man.
God, though.
Come on. 3 years ago, this same time, Chicago it did not go above 0 degrees for over 2 weeks.
Those were the days.
Yeah, man. But so basically, when the Australians came back from World War I,
mm-hmm.
they kind of moved all over the continent. Now, the way everyone knows that, like, Australia was made by felons and prisoners of England, which it was, but it was also mainly like fucking tax evaders.
Yeah, well,
it was very
like the people that were sent to Australia were like sent there for really petty crimes.
Yeah, it was like tax evasion, shoplifting, like
pretty much anyone that the royalty didn't really want around. You know, like we gotta send the Maldonados over there.
I would have loved that. That would have been great. But what they did when they got there is that they actually would work off their sentence by doing, general, by building infrastructure.
Yeah, what the Australians called work. Oi, it's work.
Yeah, so like they would, pave a road. They paved a road that went all the way around the entire country.
Well, you got to do it. These Aboriginals aren't doing it.
And once
White man's gonna come do it.
And once you worked off your sentence, you were a free person, and you could go build your home basically wherever you were.
Yeah.
And so in northwestern Australia, there's a place called Darwin.
Okay.
And now Darwin is very lightly populated at this point, but it used to be a big booming farm town. And so up near Darwin, there was a bunch of farms, and they were trying to grow crops, but there was a giant dust bowl, and so they kind of gave up on it. But
are you talking about the Dust Bowl in America?
No. I'm talking about in Australia.
Oh, okay.
I know that there was a Dust Bowl in America because we're dumb and don't know how to actually do rotational cropping.
Yeah, we're just planting shit.
Yeah, we're planting shit everywhere, and we were like, that looks good. It's kind of like how the Irish had the potato famine because they didn't realize that potatoes suck all the nutrients out of the dirt, and you really can't grow anything there after it.
Well, they just use the one type of potato.
I know.
There's like 14 million types of potatoes.
I know.
You just got to rotate the crops.
Yeah, but you can't do potatoes twice in a row. You got to do something that's going to fertilize with
corn
a lot of
fucking
nutrients.
Sucks.
Oh,
Carrots are too hard.
But so they were growing, I believe it was wheat.
Yeah.
I believe they're growing wheat. And there is a bird in Australia called the emu.
Yeah. This motherfucker is pretty scary.
Yeah.
It's like 6 feet tall.
Yeah. When I was out in Brisbane, I went to this like koala sanctuary, and there was a part where like you could like, it was like $3 and you buy like a bag of feed and you go out and you feed kangaroos from your hand.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah, it was really cool, but there were a couple emus in there.
Yeah,
and they had a bunch of signs that were like, do not try and feed the emus.
Yeah, I think I know why.
They're hyper aggressive. And
we might be getting to why they're so hyper aggressive.
Yeah, but so basically, I mean, come on, they're about 6 feet tall. They average about 120 pounds.
God damn.
They can run around 40 miles an hour.
It's like a T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I mean, effectively. And
the small ones, it's like clever girl.
It's like those velociraptors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
But so
But in Australia, of course, because all the shitty things are in Australia. It's like the shittiest people, the shittiest animals. Like when you look up the 10 poisonous animals, 7 of them live in Australia.
Oh, I know. It's incredible. Literally, like everything there is like made to kill each other.
Yeah.
And
you can't even escape anything because the water is surrounded by like 7 of the most deadliest fish.
Yeah.
Scorpion fish.
And the most dangerous jellyfish live around there. Box jellyfish.
Oh, those are the worst. I like
know.
the jar jellyfish.
I do like jar jellyfish.
They do a lot yummier. Box ones? What kind of maniac?
Box jellyfish are terrifying. They're so small that you can hardly see them in the water. And they
swim up your dick.
No, they travel in swarms.
Oh god.
And one box jellyfish sting is enough to paralyze a limb.
Mm.
And they travel in swarms, so you don't even see them coming when you're out.
All your limbs
swimming.
are paralyzed.
Yeah, and they just like fucking paralyze your entire body and kill you.
God damn, that's even more terrifying. I thought your limbs, I thought like the legs and arms.
they're about, each one is about the size of like the tip of your thumb.
Jesus Christ.
But so emus, they like all birds, they migrate.
Yeah.
And they migrate west.
Of course.
And
they
so
always go west.
When
west side, best side.
Normally, yeah, they'd be running through the desert until they get to the
ocean or something.
Until they get to like the wooded land they like to mate in.
Oh,
oh yeah, it was sexy time for emus.
Yeah,
but
all
the Australians were out there trying to farm.
Idiots! Why are they trying to farm? Don't they know it's a desert?
Yeah, but I mean, come on, you can always do it. Why not, right?
Fair enough.
But so basically, the emus were running west, and they ran into all these farms of wheat.
Yeah, they
and
just obviously
up
after World War II.
And obviously, they were like, "Huh, a bunch of free food."
Yeah,
fucking, let's just eat.
Yeah,
and so they started running around that area, and they would just be eating all the crops. And the farmers had really like 2 options: it was either try and go out there and fight the emus off their crops,
yeah,
or leave. And Australians, I mean, they're pretty tough.
Yeah,
and
they're pretty headstrong. Yeah.
Oh, very headstrong. And so a couple of people died trying to defend their farms.
God damn, these emus aren't fucking around.
No, dude, they're vicious.
Like, dude, I just want the wheat. They're like, no, it's our wheat.
So a bunch of the farmers got together and they complained to the government. They're like, there are massive packs of emus just running around here eating all of our crops. And when we try and stop them, they attack us.
What a bunch of assholes.
So the first act was one of diplomacy.
Okay.
Now what they did is they basically just signed a bill.
Wait, who signed a bill? Was it George Pence?
Yeah, how do you know so much about?
I don't know, because they're given. I'm kind of a historian.
Prime ministers.
He was the minister of defense, I think, and
he was.
And they all the people like ran to him. They're like, all these farmers are like just like, oh man, hey, Mr. Pence, you helped us in the first war. Can you help us with this emu problem? And of course they went to the Ministry of Defense, because why would you go to agriculture, like try to ask for, like a subsistence or something, or like, hey, we need some subsidies over here, like help us with our farming. But
there's no way in hell.
Yeah, these are
'Cause
former
at this
veterans.
point-
These are World War I veterans here.
Yeah, and also, Australia just spent most of their money fighting that war.
Well, also, the economy just went to shit because the fucking the Great Depression started, and I don't know if you know this during the Great Depression, but all imports into a country just stopped. They weren't importing anything to the country.
Yeah,
And Australia's main moneymaker, it's exports.
of course. You know what they're to this day what their top 3 exports are, right?
Emus,
No,
Koalas.
they wish.
koalas.
No, they keep all those cute little fuckers.
Sand.
Close. The number 1 export is coal.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
The number 2 export is it's uranium.
Oh, all right. You love your. There's not a podcast as far as exists that you don't mention uranium.
I know. I love uranium. But their 3rd is coffee, actually.
Oh, coffee.
But that literally just surpassed entertainment and tourism.
Entertainment. What the fuck?
That's the U.S.
Who's buying this Australian entertainment?
All of England.
What is their entertainment? Do you even know? When you were there, did you see anything?
Yeah, they have great soap operas.
Oh my god.
Have you ever heard of
The Young and
Heath Ledger?
No.
Huh.
Who's that idiot?
I don't know. He was Australian. You ever heard of either of the Hemsworth brothers?
No.
Australian as well. But either way,
Well, I was gonna make a few jokes about.
I was about to say, the United States, our biggest export is entertainment.
Yeah, because we have Hollywood.
Oh wow! Who gives who gives a fuck?
We have Hollywood. We have Georgia. We have Toronto.
Let's say India has Bollywood, and they don't even put out as much shit. I mean, they do put out a ton of shit, but they
put out a ton. We got to talk about.
Well, that's because
Bollywood.
Netflix really jumped on Bollywood. They were like, "Give us everything." Either way, so they always were
Ministry
exporting.
of Defense.
Yes, the Ministry of Defense was like, "All right, that's it.
So yeah,
Call in one of the cavalries."
No, he signs this bill into order, right?
Oh yeah, the bill.
That bill is pretty great, because the first act was always diplomacy, right? Like you got
Of course,
you got to try to negotiate.
You got
with
to try
these
and really level with the birds and tell them what they're doing wrong, so we can just conference. So like, what kind of summit
diplomatic bill did Mr. Pence put into sign?
It was actually it was an act of protections.
Oh,
and basically
to protect the emus?
No, to protect himself and his reputation. Oh. You ever heard of a limited liability company?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's like where like a big company will become an LLC because if someone gets hurt on the job, they can't sue the owners. They can only sue the company.
Yeah.
Effectively, he made himself a limited liability company in this matter. And so they couldn't sue him directly. They could only sue like the government, and he would be out of it.
Interesting.
Because he was like, yeah, this bill kind of shows that I knew about it, and I tried to do something about it, and you can't blame me now. And
almost like he's
obviously
covering his ass.
Well, of course.
Because
why wouldn't you?
His name associated with the Great Emu War of 1932. So what happened after this bill then?
Well, at that point with the bill, it was just kind of like the Great Emu Scuffle. but right, so George Pence made the farmers sign an agreement saying that not only will he not be held responsible if this whole thing goes tits up, but that the farmers who are already struggling will pay for all of it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, right. Come on, let's just pile on the nice guy.
So this is 1932, though, because you have to be, because everyone has all this faith in the government.
Oh, at that point, yeah.
It's like World War
they just
I
won a war.
Yeah, like everything going like, the government will take care of us. They gave us this land that they didn't.
You know what's kind of insane is that actually since World War I, to this day, the country of Australia has been in an armed conflict in some part of the world. And
Is
it all
because of
started with
this?
this. Yeah, this is the first armed conflict that
Was
they've
this-
been in. And so George Pence he called up this major in the army, and he put him in charge.
Oh, good. Yeah, someone. Was it just him? Was it just this one guy?
No, he put him in charge, and that guy was like, "Yeah, they're emus." Like,
A bunch of stupid birds.
they're like send 2 guys.
It was him and 2 guys.
Yeah, so he sent 2 guys armed with each of them had an LMG, so
A light machine gun?
yeah.
What
Yeah.
the fuck? It seems like a little bit of overkill.
Yeah, and they each got 10,000 rounds of ammunition.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, "All right, yeah, we're gonna basically go put them out there with bullet chainsaws, effectively, and just cut these fucking birds down.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get them."
Australia.
Australia.
Australian zombie.
Nah, they just yell Australia.
Australia.
Yeah, Australians love shortening everything.
They're just like Americans.
Yeah, they're worse. Like
Well, yeah.
the first place that cricket was ever professionally played, and the first like where I went to go see Australian footy.
Australia.
It's called the MCG. It's short for the Municipal Commonwealth Grounds,
Oh.
and most people just call it the G because they don't even want to call it the MCG. Literally, three letters was too much, so they added 3 more and kept 1, and they're like, "That's shorter, the G."
Pretty soon in the future, it's just going to be known as the grr.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to the gar.
Like your Australian nickname would be Moz or Mozzie, because they literally just take your first letter and add it to Aussie.
It's Mozzie.
Yeah,
Hey.
Mozzie.
Hey, Dozzy.
No, it'd be Dawes.
Hey, Doz.
Hey, Moz.
I feel like Snoop Dogg.
Why? You don't sound like him.
Schnizzle Whizzle.
Okay, now you sound like him.
Manizzle.
There you go.
Dozzy.
But so with those 2 guys, he was like, we should give him some kind of backup. Send a camera crew.
Yeah, get some good
Get some good
wartime
footage of us
yeah.
really kicking some ass.
Some propaganda pictures going on over here.
And
How'd that do for them?
so in November of 1932,
All right.
the 2-man battalion with their camera crew found the emus
Yeah.
up in it's called Campion.
Campion?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's
is that
like
a
just
city?
it's southwest of Darwin. It's inside the desert because Darwin's up in the green circle. So,
Day 1, Darwin, sissy.
so
Me and Dozzy
they,
were over here hunting the emus. We
Right.
got a camera crew.
look at that gorgeous emu
We got 10,000
standing 6
drones.
foot.
I just want to fuck it.
It's about 3.2 meters.
Oi,
It's like
do we do
86
meters
keys.
here? Do we do feet? Because I know in
No, they're metric.
UK they do the feet.
They do metric.
Oi.
It's weird though. Yeah, like metric systems still use like the pound for some reason. Because there's a lot of like items in the world that are sold by pounds instead of by kilos.
Because it's bigger.
Exactly.
More American.
But so emus, I mean, they're fucking big.
Yeah,
They're
giant.
heavy, and they run insanely fast.
Because they're birds.
Of course, and they can't fly. So what the hell else are they gonna do?
You can't
Walk?
fly, then you fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't fly, you run.
Yeah.
Look at a roadrunner. The roadrunner of the American Southwest. They literally can't fly, so it just fucking sprints everywhere. So
Hey,
things
watch
don't
out.
kill it.
Coyotes are after those.
Yeah, I actually hit a roadrunner with my car once.
That's all the Roadrunner really needed in the fucking Looney Tunes cartoons.
Yeah. Coyote just
Needed a
needed
car.
a nice Mazda 3. Just to
2008 Mazda 3.
2006.
Wow.
And I hit it.
Wow.
I hit it in New Mexico, and I just saw this. It's like
Big puff of
feathers. Yeah, I saw it in my rearview mirror, and I was like, shit. And I got out and I looked at the front fender, and there's a bunch of feathers just stuck in it.
you're just like,
So I took one out and I put it in my hat.
like Dozy did.
Sure. Yeah, let's go with that.
So
but-
how'd the first battle go? assume extraordinarily well because they're very well armed.
Yeah, I mean, come on, they were they literally were like
technology.
two Rambos walking up to fight
Yeah.
emus instead of fighting the entire.
Flightless ostriches, essentially.
Yeah, effectively, and so the emus, they would move as a pack, and as soon as they sensed danger, because obviously I'm sure when they heard a of them loading these massive
that sounds
guns,
a little weird.
yeah, they would scatter.
Oh, like birds do.
Of course. You ever walked up to a bunch of pigeons like feeding on something
And
on the
just
ground?
went.
No, you just clap,
Oh yeah,
and they all
essentially
just
that.
they all just fly away immediately because
So
it's
that's what they
terrifying
did?
to them. Yeah. So, they kept focusing on like a couple at a time,
Yeah.
and it really wasn't going anywhere
Oh.
because they really, I mean, as soon as they started firing the guns, like they would all scatter.
Uh-huh.
And also, I mean, it's 1930s. Like they don't have the same kind of belts that we have to feed in the ammo.
Right,
So their
right.
guns kept jamming, and like they eventually just got a truck so they could keep up with the fucking emus. And
So they're bouncing around in Australia on these trucks?
yeah,
They have good suspension?
no,
Oh.
it's the 30s.
So
This is back when like someone would do a stunt with a car, and the car would go off a jump, and it would land, and then like all four tires would just pop off because
Yeah.
it just like doesn't know what the hell happened.
So I imagine it's like a plank of wood with four wheels on it in Australia outback.
Yeah, kind of.
Maybe
a
the
little bit more
bumpiest-
rugged than that, but
Maybe the bumpiest thing in the world.
But so they by like the third day, they had gone through about a quarter of their ammo, so about
3 days?
about 2,500 rounds,
Jesus Christ.
and they only killed like 300 birds.
Wow, that's pretty pathetic.
Yeah, because it was packs of like thousands of emus.
Yeah, they're after, I think, like 20,000 emus.
Yeah, something like that. And so they
It's kind of a failure.
so these two guys were like, shit, this is not going to work. Let's call in for some support. So they
Yeah.
go to the farmers, and they're like, hey, come on, come help us. We're getting this shit out of your land, and come help us.
Yeah, you recruit the farmers and hopefully
But they're
they'll help.
farmers.
Yeah.
They don't know how to fight.
Well, they're veterans
so-
from World War One. What do you mean? Most of the farmers.
I know, but they don't know how to fight when they don't have a goddamn gun.
Yeah, you know.
They don't know how to fight they don't know how to fight a 6-foot bird.
They're birds. Come on.
And they're terrifying. Their eyes are massive. They have these sharp beaks, these real big legs that they kick you with these giant claws that can literally like tear your chest open.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they're fucking terrifying, dude. And so they tried to fight them again, and they severely lost.
Oh.
Like a lot of the farmers got injured. Like, their guns kept jamming, and so there was actually a quote that I love this quote from one of the two guys out there.
Yeah.
He said, we just kept firing, and it was like the emus would just absorb the bullets and keep
Yeah.
running at us. You just couldn't take it down.
Yeah, it's like they were tanks. They said.
like they were
They would take
tanks.
10 rounds to kill.
Yeah, of a fucking light machine gun where the round is about like
The size of your finger.
about the
Middle
size of like
finger,
my
yeah.
middle finger. It's probably about like 2-3 inches long.
Yeah. About the size of my dick.
And so basically they were like, all right, that's it. We're not doing it. We're not doing it.
So war was
Pull it back.
undeclared?
So they lightly surrendered. They kind
Oh.
of put it on hiatus because when you're not really fighting against something that can think or speak, you don't really be like, hey guys, we're done.
Well, it's interesting because the minister of agriculture, I think, he told to George, the guy that started this whole thing, should we give the emus medals?
Yeah.
Because clearly they won. He had a lot of egg on his face that day. I tell you, boy, I tell you. Because
Effectively an ostrich egg on his face.
oh,
But so basically
that's a big egg.
George Pence was like, all right, fuck it. We're done. No
We're
more
done.
war. No more war. Get these things out of here. We're
And
done.
everyone's like,
Yeah.
but you said you'd do this one thing. He's like, hey, remember that bill I signed? LLC, scot-free.
Yeah, he's like, you can't touch me. I
I
am untouchable.
diplomatic immunity.
And so, the farmers, They got real pissed when they saw the soldiers left, and the soldiers were like, "Yeah, we're not fucking coming back." And so they went and they yelled at George Pence, and so he was like, "Fuck it, round 2."
Round 2? What? After 4 days?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Round 2, and so the second time around they sent a actual battalion with a bunch of guns,
Right.
and they figured out how to kind of like trap the pack and kill them off, but
Yeah.
and they started killing about 300 a week.
Oh, nice.
Um,
No, I think it was still the 3 guys at that point.
yeah,
He sent them back. There wasn't a battalion.
no, it was
was
it was
just
different guys.
No, it was the 3 guys. The same 3 guys.
I thought it was different guys.
Nah.
Huh.
It happens.
They sent the soldiers back out, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean they learned how to actually trap them. They were killing about 300 a week.
Nice. That's going pretty good. Not enough to really take out 2,000.
No, not at all.
Or 20,000.
Not at all. So people were like, "All right, good job," but like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I think the news had a field day with them.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like Australia loses Emu War or something.
I say that was literally when Rupert Murdoch was a reporter starting out at his dad's paper. Who, if you don't know, listeners, Rupert Murdoch is the man who owns Fox News. He also owns and runs The Sun and the Daily Mirror, and
pretty much every news agency.
really, he like runs basically every right wing news agency in English speaking countries.
Odd thing too, also owns a flock of emu. I heard. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, let's confirm that before we start spreading it.
Yeah, well,
But-
he definitely owns emu then.
But so after shooting literally 9,900 bullets,
9,900 bullets.
yeah, they only had 986 confirmed kills of emus, and so the
pretty pathetic.
so the major technically his last name is Meredith. Major Meredith, he admitted defeat.
The war was lost.
The war was lost. The emus won.
Emus won the war. You fucking bastards.
And so what they did was what they should have fucking done the entire time.
What'd they do?
They put a bounty out on the heads of the emus.
Oh,
And about 50,000 emus were killed within the next 6 months.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because the Australian people were like, wait, I can get money for killing an emu?
yeah, like it was
I'll
a
go
lot
take
of
one
money
down.
too.
Yeah.
It was like $200.
Yeah, which in the 30s, that's like $1 million.
It was like $1 million.
But so yeah, they about 50,000 emus were killed within the next 6 months. But yeah,
bet-
Australia lost the war to a pack of emus.
That's some pretty crazy shit going on in this wild
God,
wasteland.
It's such a dumb war. I love it.
Well, I don't know. I think I could one up you.
All right, go ahead, try.
Yeah, because I brought in a stupid war.
Oh, did you now? What
Yeah.
was this? Pulling something out of your sleeve?
Yeah, I'm just pulling it out of my sleeve right now. It's called the Emu War.
Ah, tell me more.
It happened in Australia in 1932. I don't know. I lost it. I know. I saw it.
Oh,
I'm just.
we just shuffling through papers.
Yeah. I actually thought I wrote something else here.
Oh, you don't do that much research and back work on this stuff. I'm really the researcher of the
There
group.
was a lot of research in there. You skipped over a lot. I'm actually kind of sad.
Well, you're welcome.
Wow. So I brought in what's known as the War of the Bucket. And you might be thinking
Like a bucket,
yeah, like a bucket.
like a pail.
Yeah, like the thing that you use to like carry water,
Yeah,
like a pail.
yeah.
It's like that.
Is this in Australia as well?
No, somewhere
Okay.
way stupider.
That's it, because you know that like Australia was literally bought by the British.
With a bucket.
Yeah, it was a bucket and a pair of scissors.
Hey, we all did they have a war over it?
No, but they had to make a treaty with New Zealand because they couldn't get past the Maori warriors.
What do they call them? Kiwi? The Kiwi.
Yeah,
The
the
Kiwi.
Kiwis. All right, so tell me about this War of the Bucket. Where the hell did this happen?
So let me set the scene here. There's a bucket in Madonia.
Madonia?
That caused the death of 4,000 men.
Where the fuck is Madonia?
Italian men, 700 years ago. Madonia, my good friend, is in Italy, of course. Madonia. Madonia.
Where?
Somewhere on the east coast or some shit. I don't know.
Near like Bologna?
It could be near Bologna. It's right next to Bologna, actually.
How do you spell this?
I don't know if I spelled it right. Mode or Modina. And it's right next to Bologna. Bologna.
Oh, Modena.
Modena.
Yeah, okay, I see where this is.
So, there's a bucket in Modena.
Oh, yeah. It's right outside of Bologna. It's in between Bologna and Mantua.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you why it's there in a second.
Sure, yeah, tell me about it. Oh,
So-
it's halfway between Bologna and Parma. That's where Parmesan is
You get
from.
a fucking Italian in here, and this is what happens. I tell you.
It's also equidistant from Bologna to where Ferrari is from. I'm done. You can tell me about this war.
Bueno.
Good.
I don't know. I don't know what
That
that
means
word
good.
means. Oh, good. Bueno. So we're gonna be doing Godfather here. Now let me take you back here, Dean, to Italy in the Middle Ages, right?
That sounds like a terrible place to go in the Middle Ages.
Well, of course, because Italy's divided, right?
Yeah.
It's divided into a bunch of city-states. There's half of them are Team Emperor, which is up in Germany, and half of them are Team Pope, which is down in wherever the fuck the Pope is.
It's in like northern Italy.
I thought it was southern Italy.
What, Rome?
Yeah.
It's like middle way, a little bit further north than you'd
Oh.
think. No,
Well,
it's further south. It's a little bit further south.
It's wherever the fucking Pope is.
Sure.
So there's Team Pope, right? For our story, we're going to be talking about Bologna, which is Team Pope, versus Modena, which is Team Emperor, right? And the ruler of Modena, Passerino Cossi.
Sure.
Bonacossi.
Don't try and say it.
Bonacossi.
Sure.
And the Pope, he's part of the Team Emperor. Pope, not a fan of him, huh? Not a fan of our boy, Passerino. So back then, right? We're going back to the year 1325.
Wow.
You might be thinking, like, what's going on then, huh?
Yeah, what is going on then?
Well, there's some border disputes. It's getting kind of crazy. It's getting kind of weird.
Is this during or before the 100 Years' War?
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
It's after. It's after the 100 Years War.
It's probably before.
When was the... Google.
Just keep telling me.
When was the
Keep telling me
100-Year
about this.
War? So Bologna was invading and burning some of their fields, right? Bologna's like fucking up their shit in July.
You said what, 13?
It's 1325.
Okay, yeah, it's 10 years before the 100 Years' War.
Perfect. Okay, now we know. Now we have even better context. So 10 years before the 100 Years' War.
In Italy.
In
The country
Italy.
that was not involved in the 100 Years' War.
Oh, even better. I'm really glad we had to fucking sort
God,
that,
I'm really bad at keeping you on track.
sort that whole thing out. In July of that year,
Mm-hmm.
Bologna was running around burning some of their fields, right? Just fucking shit up. A few months later, they came back for 2 weeks and smashed up a bunch of their cities. Some real sick shit.
And this is Team Pope that's burning and pillaging,
This is
right?
Team Pope. Yeah, this is Team Pope.
that
fucking
seems
with
pretty
their
Team
shit.
Pope.
Because they're coming after the dude. He's got a bounty on his head.
Oh.
The Pope was offering whatever the Pope gives you, like pretty much like whatever the crusade was about.
What, a free ticket to heaven?
Yeah, like a free ticket to heaven.
Cool.
Whatever those are called.
I think it's called a golden ticket. Charlie Bucket got one once. Oh, Charlie Bucket. Is he involved?
He might be. Just sit back, with those
Trying.
with those doughy eyes. In September Bologna lost a fort, and no one really knows why. Could be Modena was fucking with them. Could be otherwise. With this, they think that they took it. So with this confidence, right? The Modenese snuck into the heart of the capital of Bologna, right? Bologna, and they stole a bucket from their main well. Right? You might be thinking, why are they looking at this bucket and this well? Some people.
That kind of seems like a dog running over to another dog's spot and pissing on it.
Well, I think some people are speculating that they just wanted to drink water, right?
Sure.
You know what was in this bucket in the well, though?
Huh.
A bunch of loot, a bunch of gold.
What?
So
who left gold in the well?
Fucking Italians, I don't know. You guys got like a thing? It's like, hey, for good luck, you put a bucket full of loot in the well in downtown.
I guess.
Whatever. So this crazy shit, right? They ran off with this loot. Odd thing is that they just wanted to drink. So now the Milanese have this loot and the bucket in their turf, right? The Bolognians super pissed off about this.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, dude, can't just be coming into our fucking land, stealing our bucket with the fucking loot. Give it back.
Yeah. I'm walking here.
Do you know what the Modenese said?
Go fuck yourself?
Yeah, pretty much like whatever every Italian tells you to do, ever.
You want to know my favorite Italian phrase?
The this thing?
I mean, effectively, it's va focuno.
Oh, my God.
You scream, va focuno!
Can we even air this now in Italy?
Yeah, it means fuck your ass.
Wow, Jesus. Sodomy?
So I learned it because I was at my Italian teacher's house watching the World Cup, and it was Italy literally was losing the game, and they lost, and he was literally like an inch from the screen, just screaming, "Va focuno, tu madre!"
Was Italy in the city of who were they playing?
Oh, I don't even remember.
Oh, well, they should have stole this bucket of the city.
Well, yeah, actually, my teacher was from Bologna.
Oh, it's interesting.
That's why he was probably so angry.
Remember that smashing thing that they did a few months ago?
Yeah.
Where the Bolognese was like fucking with Madonia.
Yeah.
And in their property. What the hell? Did you get a weird thing too?
No.
Okay. Well, the loot that they had that was in this bucket was when they were smashing up Madonia's shit. When they're just coming across the border and smashing them up when they were lighting their fields on fire and shit. So it's like even more of a fuck you. It's like, yeah, we stole this from you,
but it's our shit. We want it
we
back.
put it in the bucket because it's like your shit, but we want it back. It's like, no, we're not giving you the fucking shit back, dude.
Who are you, the British Museum?
Yeah, exactly. Like this belongs in a museum. So demand this loot and shit, and Bologna is pretty pissed, right? Because they really want this bucket back. They see this as a huge slap in the face, very disrespectful, right? So you might be thinking, this is all chill, right? This is all okay until war is declared, right? Like everything is fine unless war is declared. You know what happened?
War was declared?
War was declared.
Yeah, you really fed me that answer.
Yeah, war was declared.
You said war was declared like twice in your question of what happens next.
Bologna, not to look like a fool, they got not to look like a fool in front of the Pope. They got 32,000 men to fight for this bucket.
Wow.
This bucket full of loot. They got 32,000, and they're like marching into Modenese fucking territory, right?
Modena?
Modenese, yeah.
I don't know why you keep adding an yeah at the end. It's just
Modenese, yeah.
Just Modena.
Whatever, dude.
Sure. Keep going.
Should have given you the Italian one.
Yeah, no duh. I'm Italian.
I should have read the Emu War.
Emus are a little easier to read than Modena and Bologna and...
I like being an idiot, though. But the Modenese.
Yeah, the Modenese. Yeah, sure.
And the Modenese, they weren't going to let this happen.
Well, no, duh. When you see 32,000 people marching at you, what the hell do you think is going to happen? They're going to be like,
well, they got 7,000 of their own men, met them there, right?
God, Italians are brave.
Very brave. So this was the Battle of Zippolino. Zippolino.
Just keep going.
Zappolino.
It's probably Zappolino.
Zappolino.
Yeah.
So this is the Battle of Zappolino, right? Hey, how you doing, Zappolino? Hey, this needs a little bit of editing. So they were scooped up before the 32,000 people showed up.
Who? Wait, the 7,000.
Yeah, they scooped them up.
7,000 Modenese. Who scooped them up?
No, the 32,000 were coming.
Yeah.
7,000 scooped them up. I was trying to put a bucket pun in there.
Oh.
I guess it
Don't do that. I'm just very confused by who would.
It was kind of.
I feel like
it was kind of janky.
Yeah, it really was. I really felt like someone came in and just like picked up 7,000 people and just moved them somewhere.
And so yeah, like the Modenese, they have this bucket, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with the power of the bucket, they won the battle. 7,000 to 32,000. The 7,000 win.
Okay.
Right? Pretty badass.
Yeah.
And they chased them all the way back to Bologna, the Bolognese capital, right?
Wow.
And in the most Italian fashion, they had a little game in front of their main capital. Like they were just having like a festival of the Poles. There's like artist renditions of this motherfucker. It's insane what they did. The most Italian thing since gay sex, right? They just hosted athletic games of gymnastics, pole climbing, pole sitting, pole throwing, lots of pole shit.
Cool.
I don't really understand why.
Well, it's probably the best thing they had.
And not only that, right? To embarrass them even more,
Yeah, they had the bucket.
they took another bucket.
Oh!
They took the bucket from outside the city. There's a well there. They're like, hey, now we got 2 of your fucking buckets.
How you like me now?
4,000 men died in the battle, though. Over
wait.
1 year, over 1 day.
Wait, for the first bucket though, right?
Yeah, the battle that we just talked about.
Yeah.
And all fun and games. 4,000 men died in that battle over 1 day worth of bucket.
Wow.
But they have 2 buckets though.
Yeah, they got 2 now.
And it was pretty much like that for 200 years. The Pope fighting shit, or whoever the Pope was at the time, Emperor fighting shit, and then some. I don't know. They made peace or some shit. Then they fought somebody else. But the craziest thing you might be asking yourself, like, how does this get even crazier?
My guess is the bucket was never returned, and it's still
Bucket
in Modena.
was never returned. Still in Modena, in a church in Modena.
Is it?
You can see this bucket online. We might even have a field trip there one day.
I'd be so down.
Because it's 700-year-old bucket, never got returned. I don't know if it's still got the loot in it. Probably doesn't. But
Probably does not.
Ain't that some crazy shit?
Yeah, that's insane.
4,000 men died over a bucket.
Yeah.
Like, that's some crazy.
That's
shit.
crazy. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Over a bucket. I mean, to be fair, it's probably more about the jewels in the bucket.
No, it's more about the Italian pride.
Oh, of course.
It's like, hey, you can't just be coming over here taking my bucket. It's not like my wife. You can't just beat the bucket.
Now, to be fair, it also ended in an incredibly Italian style.
Yeah.
Where they were like,
a festival.
where they were like, oh, you're sending literally over 4 times the amount of troops as we're sending? We got this.
We got it. Not only did they say that they got it.
And they got it.
They met them halfway there. And they didn't even let them touch their property.
And they fought them all the way back.
I think the word is rooted, where so rooted in medieval times is when you scared the other guys so bad that they like dropped their weapons and ran off.
Wow.
The whole thing is ridiculous.
Well, I mean,
I still like the fair outside the.
I mean, that's very Italian.
Like, hey,
we just
festival
and
we just
nice
rooted
celebration.
a bunch of men.
Yeah,
let's get on some poles.
Let's party. That's awesome.
They stole another bucket.
That's so awesome.
2 buckets.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
That's literally like a slap in the face and then a kick in the dick.
Yeah.
That's great. That's honestly, I love that. I wish I was Modenese now instead of Sicilian. But then again, the Sicilians are fucking insanely awesome.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of crazy shit that goes in Sicilian stuff.
But I say, yeah, well, so Sicily is technically its own country. The same way that like New Zealand is its own country, but they're like just very good. They have very good relations with the mainland near them.
Yeah.
And the Sicilians, Sicily is where the mafia is from.
Yeah. Yeah. I think most people know that.
Probably not.
Oh. Well, for anyone who's listening that doesn't know, the mob is from Sicilia.
Yeah. That's why, because mafia means my family. It means the
Cosa
family.
Nostra.
And so that was the thing, is that if you were in the mafia, if you were a mafioso, that was literally like what all Sicilian men were doing. They were either running a business or they were running the mafia or part of the mafia. And they were the ones who kind of started a lot of racketeering, and they would, have the people pay for protection. And so when World War II broke out, all these people for the last couple hundreds of years have been paying the mafia for protection in Sicily. And as we all know, Mussolini became very good friends with Hitler. And the Nazis actually tried to take over Sicily because Sicily was like, yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna do our own thing on our little island over here. And the Nazis were like, Nine! Your island shall be ours! And so they came, they
Third Reich.
Yeah, they went over to Sicily, and the mafia actually defeated the Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah. They fought them back, and they kicked them out of the island and shit. It's basically like, effectively in a modern day kind of
Comparison.
Yeah, I could really only think of juxtaposition. In a modern
kind
day
of a
comparison,
juxtaposing.
effectively the Sicilians were that untouched tribe, and the Nazis was that little Christian boy who just wanted to spread the good word of God, and so the Sicilians were like, no!
Kind of, but not really. But yeah.
It's a comparison.
It's a comparison.
It's a comparison. It's not a good one, but it's a comparison.
It'd be like the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, it's kind of like Burn Notice,
It's kind of like Burn Notice.
I don't know why. I always relate all of my things to Burn Notice now.
It's a good show.
No, it's not.
I love that show. That's probably one of my favorite shows on television.
Why? Because you can watch any season. You can literally watch the first episode
and the last episode.
You can watch.
Like,
you can watch one episode of each season. Like you can do like season 1, episode 1, season 2, episode 2, season 3, episode 3. It'll be the same fucking show. Because every season is the exact same. Every episode is the exact same.
Really cutting me deep here.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that you were a spy that had a burn notice out on him.
My name is Michael. I got a burn notice on me.
I got a sperm notice on me. They say my sperm has the intent to kill.
That's season 7. He moved to like Argentina or something.
Yeah, and then the same shit happens. Where he gets a lead about who could have burned him, and then that guy's going to help him, and then that guy backstabs him, and then everything ends up okay at the end of the season. And then the next season, he's like, oh no, someone else knows, and now they're trying to burn me as well. Like, wow, good fucking job. Go get Jack Bauer. He'll solve it in a day.
No, only 24 hours.
And what is a day?
Mm.
How many hours are in a day, Michael?
12.
Sure. In your day? Probably.
Yeah, man. I'm just like high all the time, dude.
No, you're not.
I'm just sober all the time, dude.
Whoa, you are not. You're just drunk as fuck most of the day. You wake up the next day and you're like, I need a beer.
So that's crazy, huh? These wars? Like,
yeah.
Emus won, Bucket lost.
Yeah. I mean, really, I don't know if we have any other crazy wars to really kind of point out, because at the end of the day, I feel like the most recent, like the most modern crazy war.
War on drugs.
Yeah, literally. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's probably the war on drugs. I mean, I'm literally wearing a Dare sweater. But
yeah. Well, there was the football wars in in El Salvador in
Well, yeah.
1976.
Yeah, I mean, you know that, like, quite literally, it is, or it was illegal to sell alcohol in any sports arena in all of Brazil. But because they were hosting the Olympics and Budweiser is a main sponsor of the Olympics, they changed the law to be able to sell beer in the stadiums.
Well,
do you know why they had that fucking law?
Probably because soccer riots.
Yeah, literally because
60s.
there were like too many deaths in the stadium from not only drunken brawls between fans, but also people getting trampled.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And so they were like, all right, well, we feel like alcohol is the probably the aggregate in this whole situation. So maybe if we just pull alcohol out of the stadiums, everyone will calm the fuck down. And it worked. And then Budweiser was like, yeah, but that hurts our profits.
Yeah, well, there's the Banana Wars, too, which is essentially that, like a company coming into an area and saying, like, oh, we're going to do it like this, and people just suffer and die.
Sounds cool.
There's, you know that how many pig wars there's been in the history?
Oh, too many.
3. There's 3.
Yeah, that's way too many. Why the fuck are there that many wars over pigs?
No, like a pig just went into the most ridiculous one is between America and Canada, where this pig went into like a American pig went into a Canadian farm and ate some shit, and like war were declared, and there's actually like a standoff there.
That sounds like the plot line of the John Candy movie Canadian Bacon.
I never seen it.
Really? Oh, it's phenomenal. It's one of my favorite John Candy movies. Effectively,
like
John Candy and his friends are they live in Niagara, New York, and they go over to Niagara, Canada, to go see some like AA hockey. And,
what?
And
already doesn't make any sense to me.
Why?
It's already. I don't care about any of this.
I'm getting to the fucking point.
I don't like this at all.
What's not to like? It's John Candy. He's a red-blooded American who hates Canada.
Good. I like it already.
So they're at the hockey rink and they're watching this like AA game, and there's a fight going on the rink, and they're like, "This game sucks. This country sucks. These teams suck." And John Candy goes, "Yeah, and the beer sucks too." And every single person in the entire stadium, including all of the players, just like stop and stare at him and then bum rush him and attack him. And so, because he caused a riot, the Mounties arrest him and take him over to Toronto to put him in jail. And his friends invade Canada, and they'd start a secret war against Canada to try and free John Candy. And the way they're doing it is they're just going across Canada littering.
That gets him.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, I bet that gets him.
Oh, it's such a fun movie.
I gotta watch it. Sounds like In the Army Now with Bill Murray. We're like,
oh, I forgot that came out like basically at the same time as Stripes, right?
Oh yeah, Stripes. That's what I'm thinking about.
Oh, you're talking about Stripes, okay?
Yeah.
You know, I was watching that movie the other day, and you know, I like the concept of someone nowadays making a 90s style or 80s or 70s style comedy, really 80s style comedy.
Yeah.
But they don't do it justice. Because when I went back and watched Stripes, that movie is quite literally 85% just tits on screen. That's like what most of the 80s comedies were. It was like
that's
guys fucking around and women topless.
Yeah.
And
that's what it is. That's what's the best thing. You can't do that now.
No. I was like, wow, that was all tits.
Well, you could. What was I watching the other day that had tits in it?
Porn? I don't know.
Oh, it was something. Did Venom have tits?
I haven't seen Venom yet. But I actually heard that Tom Hardy had a major freak out on set of Venom because about halfway through filming, he was like he knew it was going to be a shit movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just based on the script and based on like what they were filming, and he just like had a fucking meltdown because he's like, God, like I've been like I'm a very respected actor, and I try to take on this role that I love. He's like because he's a huge Venom fan of the comics, and he's like, you guys are making a fucking mockery out of this. And so he supposedly had this like giant freak out on set. It's really the two best freakouts on set that I go back and watch often is Michael Cera.
Okay.
He has a freak out because he was originally the main character of Knocked Up, the Judd Apatow movie.
Okay.
And they're filming this date in a restaurant, and Judd Apatow's like, Michael, you just gotta give me more. You just gotta give me more. And he's like, okay. And they do another take. And he's like, you gotta give me more. You gotta feel it. You gotta give me more. And Michael Cera's like, what do you want? Huh? What do you want? You want more? I give you more. You want less? I give you less. I give you more energy, less energy, high energy, low energy, this energy, that energy. What the fuck do you want?
It's like
you
talking to you.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's so funny. He has this like massive freak out, and that's why they actually recast that role, is because of that freak out.
Wow.
The other
Just
one,
when you think that he's nice, he looks like such a nice guy.
no, he looks like a guy who's been picked on his entire life, and then made it famous. But my other favorite one is Christian Bale.
Yeah, that one's the best. I knew you were gonna say it.
Of course.
In Terminator.
Terminator, Genesis.
No, it wasn't Genesis. It was the one before that.
No, it wasn't Resurgence.
I think it's like Armageddon or something.
It was like T4, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it wasn't called T4.
I know.
It was called something stupid. It was before Genesis or whatever they.
But yeah, he for those of you actually still listening who have not seen that, definitely check it out. It's him just screaming at a lighting technician. Oh, it's good.
Yeah, it's great. It's like you're being a real Salvation. Terminator Salvation. It's like, you're being a real fucking asshole right now or something. Like, you know, it's a good freak out because...
Yeah, he's like, are you even a fucking professional?
Because everybody there felt the same way that he did, but he's the only one that said anything.
Of course, because he's a star. He can.
Like, but everyone else was being, like, nice. I don't know why everyone was being nice. Everything
that's
you see
how
about
people in showbiz are. They're very nice outwardly.
I always heard that everyone's, like, an asshole. Like, oh, hey, Dean Molyneux.
Well, they're outwardly nice.
Yeah.
They're very two-faced and fake.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
That came out 9 years ago.
Yeah, I believe it.
Was that before or after Batman? Batman.
Which Batman?
Oh, shit. It was, like, in the middle. I feel like...
Dark Knight came out in, 2007?
Dark Knight's the best one.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I meant Batman Begins came out in, 2007.
Oh, yeah, then, yeah, that's exactly what I thought. It had happened, like, in the middle of all that.
Yeah.
Maybe the same time.
So, yeah, Dark Knight is the best one. I was just thinking of Batman Begins with Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, I was watching something about Batman Begins the other day, and they showed a bunch of clips. I don't fucking remember at all. I was like, did I even watch this movie?
It's pretty good when you go back and watch it.
Yeah, it's just like, I hate like film theories and stuff. It's like, well, if he used the microwave machine, it evaporated all the water in the city, it would have started with the humans.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a
wouldn't-
huge flaw.
like
They're vaporizing all water in the city, and humans are 96% water. Like everyone would have just popped.
Yeah. Like
it'd be like putting grapes in a microwave.
Yeah, and it definitely wouldn't have affected the sewer, which is like underground in house and everything, before it affected
The people
literally
on the street.
everything else.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good place to end it.
All right, if you want, sure.
I've been Michael Johnson.
Yeah, and I'm still Dean Maldonado.
Thanks for listening. This has been Wild Wasteland. We do this every week, probably, unless I'm lazy.
Yeah, and tune in next time for a deep dive into a really probably the mother of all conspiracy theories.
Yeah, interesting stuff.
If you like Stranger Things, tune in next week.
Oh, good.
Nice plug, right?
Yeah, good plug. Yeah,
that's right. Stranger Things. Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Eggo
Stranger
waffles. Stranger Things. 11.
I hate Eggo waffles.
What? You hate Eggo waffles?